Hey friends, Rabbi Jenny Solomon here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I wanted to share a mincha moment, hopefully some words of inspiration as we meet this Thursday afternoon, this week of Parshat Yitro. So I'm thinking a little bit about hope these days. I recently had the joy of sharing a teaching on the topic of hope at Christ Church downtown in Raleigh as part of their adult Bible study program, and their theme for this year is hope. So it was really a gift of an invitation for me to spend some time thinking about hope for myself. One of the things that I shared is a beautiful quotation from Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks, may he rest in peace, who said that optimism is the belief that things are going to get better, and hope is the belief that we can make them better. And I really love that idea, that hope is imbued with this active sense of faith and our part in actually creating the future that we want to live in. So it's left me feeling hopeful about a lot of things in our world, even as we continue to muscle our way through really challenging times. One of the things that I found really interesting about my own experience of hope kind of percolating in this new way after a long time of not really giving myself much permission to hope is that it actually raises a lot of anxiety. I've forgotten what it feels like to hope. And so with that hope comes a lot of worry. Is it fair to hope? Is it possible to hope? Am I just preparing myself for further disappointment? We can't know, after all, what's going to happen. That has been taught to us very, very clearly over the last year. But as I have 3 kids signed up to be at sleepaway camp this summer, and vaccines are getting into arms, there's a new administration in Washington. I'm definitely having moments of hope. So how do I meet this hope as it arises, along with its sort of equal and opposite degree of worry and anxiety and vulnerability? So the first is just to feel it. Right? So our mindfulness practice, our prayer practice, our spiritual practice invites us to sit with a stance of welcome, a stance of non-resistance, of being able to hold and truly feel the depth of everything, not push away any one part. So I think there's great joy in just allowing ourselves to feel hope arising. This is what hope feels like. It's a very human thing, a very helpful and joyful thing to feel. The second is sort of the tone with which we meet that hope. And as I said, what I've noticed in my own spiritual practice is I feel hope arising, and then I kind of find some way to tamp it down. And I think one thing that I'm trying to work with instead is to meet that hope with a tone of compassion. That is to say, it's been a long stretch of difficulty, of limitation, of fear, of loss, of grief, micro grief and macro grief. And so can I, instead of meeting the hope sort of with this immediate rush of worry, can I meet the hope with some compassion? How good it feels to be able to hope again. And alongside that, mindfulness invites us to regularly practice cultivating the quality of equanimity. So I think it's possible to hope, even knowing that whatever we're hoping for may happen. It may not. It may happen as we intend it or hope for it to unfold. It may not. But that's okay. That's okay. The practice of equanimity is our ability to hold what's happening with a kind of quality of acceptance um, and humility and inner strength to know that we will find a way to meet each moment no matter how it ends up unfolding. So perhaps there are some of you out there who are also beginning to entertain sparks of hope, moments of hope, whether it's just for the peace of mind and the greater sense of ease that comes with being vaccinated, or the opportunity to be reunited with loved ones later on this summer and the year ahead, or hope for our children as some of them head back to school or into other kinds of experiences, all different ways that we might begin to feel hope arising. And part of my hope is that I can continue to use this practice of meeting that hope with, instead of a sort of an immediate urge to shut it down, instead to meet it with some compassion and meet it with some equanimity. Just because we have a hope, we understand at the same time that hope may not take root or sort of become manifest exactly as we hope it. But that's not a reason not to hope. So sharing with everyone a hopeful spirit today, and I long for us to be together again soon. Shalom, peace.